Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rhyme of the Times for the weekend in 17th of January 2026. Part of GROK is blocked. Jenrick and Badenoch have horns locked and each other mocked for talking poppycock, as Rob adds to reform's stock. General shock as Iran is further rocked by its people rising up en bloc. Guildford resigns before he's defrocked after being in the dock over the Israeli fans' bloc. Trump receives a pleasant shock. There's been many a good human invention that bad people have perverted with bad intentions. The splitting of the atom demonstrates that well. Nuclear weapons are now our handcart to hell. Throughout the ages, a parent's humble goal has been in general to maintain parental control, keep their kids safe in the adolescent fishbowl from their own dark thoughts and rabbit holes, age-old distractions of sex, drugs and rock and roll, to the present temptations of grok and scroll. Rock and roll lyrics, defiant and uncouth, a soundtrack that shaped generations of youth, but compared to the way the internet works now, it was just wholesome identity forming somehow. Those devious algorithms and pernicious AI giving the undeveloped subconscious reason to die, conspiracy theories and outlandish opinions, fake news to corrupt the minds of the minions, doom-scrolling brain rot to entertain and shock, and now we have the challenge of Elon Musk's GROK. But after campaigners had worked around the clock, the British government has persuaded Musk to block the most extreme use of the deep fake chat box that can undress famous figures right down to their socks. Elon on Tuesday finally found the gumption to respond to the outrage and disable the function. For those fearing and with feelings searing of an impending AI takeover nearing, on Thursday may have found themselves cheering at the news about Craig Guildford they were hearing. The West Midlands police chief resigned in recognition of what an inquisition said of his decision when he banned Israeli fans from last autumn's game to Birmingham. They never came because of a claim by West Midlands police that their presence would inflame trouble that the police would not be able to tame. But the evidence was based entirely on a lie, based on a soccer match made up by AI. Guildford had made a risk assessment that was based on aggro at another match that didn't even take place. Maccabi lost to Villa and their fans never travelled as the credibility of AI completely unravelled. In recent times, several Tories have taken flight, left the Conservatives and veered right. Upon the good ship Nige, they've chosen to alight and add to Reform UK's growing might. On Monday, the latest body through Reform's door was bigger than any Farage had enticed before. Shadow Justice Secretary Rob Jenrick's arrival from the Conservatives to their right-sided rival didn't quite go as Rob might have planned it. In fact, it turned out to be rather cack-handed. He and Kemi were in no way joined at the hip. Theirs had become a fractious relationship. He was about to tell the world he would jump ship when to the post he was pipped by Kemi's doodle pip. Jenrick, it seems, for a long time had been plotting since Kemi won the leadership race and not him. For 15 months Kemi had had Robert's back while Jenrick was waiting for his time to attack. She had his back. He planned to put a knife in hers. The question is, which of the two had come off worse? Rob claimed the Tories were in permanent reverse and weren't far away from being carried in a hearse. Kemi's lips stayed mostly pursed, her few words always terse. Passive-aggressively, Robert Jenrick she cursed. Rob seems to like power. Can reform quench his thirst? Has he backed the right horse, or will it fall at the first? Kemi was decisive and pretty incisive, pleased to see the back of someone so divisive. Rob was excited and had a lot to say about the great prospects of Reform UK. Kemi claimed Reform was taking a Tory cast-off, a suggestion that Farage, of course, had to laugh off. Rob bemoaned 14 years of Tory decline. He was in its cabinet for a third of that time. An internet blackout in Iran right now means much of what is happening within is unseen. News coming out is intermittent and scarce, but the violence isn't hard to imagine or guess. Thousands of citizens have been killed, it seems, by the various arms of a brutal regime, and Trump suggested he was prepared to join the fray, promising that US help was on its way. But by the end of Saturday, it's fair to say that the promise of assistance from the USA was as empty as an average Iranian's pocket. There was no sign of a US missile or rocket. Trump, of course, says he's not a warmonger. It's only ever peace for which he does hunger. And on Thursday, in some way, he could realise his desire to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. The actual 2025 recipient came to the White House to give it to the president. For Trump, Maria Machado's gesture was a nice surprise, even though it's not officially recognised. The Venezuelan politician lost to Maduro in a stolen election 2 years ago. Trump wasn't happy that she won the award, and when he snatched Maduro, she was ignored. But after the 3rd of January fracas, when Trump removed the man he thought was a jackass, maybe Maria could now be installed in Caracas.